Welcome back, friends, to another edition of the Mighty Shoutout Podcast. Hey, check this out. This is looking pretty nice, eh? Man, look who it is. I'm not sure if you can quite read it in the back, but here we are, Turkey and Pistols with my friend Rob once again. Hey, Rob, thanks for doing this. By the way, I'm not going to lie. On the way here, I listened to our first podcast, 2-year anniversary.
Really?
Yeah, spring break.
No way.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn cool. No, thank you very much for having me on this thing again.
Yeah,
and making all the fighters go like, who the hell's this guy?
How can you keep having this guy on here? Woo.
No, and also the locals can find out why the heck I would be on a podcast.
Yeah,
fighting twice.
Twice, yeah. You got it, man.
But we go old school. We should cheers because then that's it. Like,
cheers.
Anniversary. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, you bet. Matter of fact, I also wanted to cheers also. And speaking of old school, shout out to Big George Foreman, who unfortunately just passed away.
Absolutely.
You know, legend of pugilism.
Yeah. One for George.
One for George. So, man, what's going on? We're back in the shop here. 2 years. You were saying you were just getting into. I'm just getting into the retail. There we go, retail game. So you're not really sure how things are going. Now you're a veteran, man. It's been 2 years since that conversation. So how's the shop going?
Yeah, 2.5 years. I signed a much longer lease, so nice. I'm not like worrying every 6 months and having to re-sign up. No, you commit, make it long term, figure it out. We're still growing like any retail store. You have to pick, I think, a certain amount of time and a certain amount of years where you're going to know, like, we're not going to make a lot of money in this for a little while. And that number has been like for other businesses, 5 years, 10 years. Yeah. So, you have to think about that because I really did have to start from scratch. We moved in. You knew I was printing merch. I was printing your fight shirts and a lot of different guys. A lot for our man C-Mac, Chris McMillan, and
my man. Shout out
Arashido. So that was like, I thought I was going to move it here, but then when I got the opportunity to go direct to consumer, I pivoted, and it was kind of fresh after COVID, the pivot time, right?
Yeah.
So everyone was rolling, but when I saw that people were really receptive to my designs, my products, and all the different stuff, I kind of embraced that. So I kind of put the service work to the side, and I've been heads down. And there was a time, and it was probably about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I'd say. Probably about a year and a half ago where I said, you know what, let's just go all in, Turkey and Pistols, retail, straight consumer, record store. The record store started taking off. People were buying vinyl again. And I said, I'm going to retire from service work for at least a little while and give this a real go. And I talked about it just like being a fighter or being an athlete. Like, you don't use other distractions. If you were going to fight Mike Tyson or if you were going for a gold medal, you don't also have a side job. Yeah. Ideally, right?
Yes.
You go all in.
Yep.
And so that's why I said, like, I can't have multiple jobs. I want this to be my goal. So 2.5 years in, people are still finding the shop. The brand's never been bigger, I don't think.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think a lot of different things are happening. We're on CBC Radio just before Christmas.
That's right. Yeah.
Talking about John Prine and it's a lot's been happening, and so we're still in growth mode. And I just really, doing this allows people to get to know me, get to know the shop, get to know how I got here, and then get to know me bragging about Bragg Creek.
Yeah. So are you like a local yet? Like, is this still Turkey and Pistols, or is it going to Rob's place?
Well, if you know anybody out here, I've been out here almost 11 years.
Right.
So for some people, I'm still new.
Okay.
Because some people have lived out here for generations.
Sure.
No, Bragg Creek's home. I've never been in Bragg Creek and Redwood Meadows. I've never lived in one location for more time than I have now since I left my parents' home in Lloydminster. I moved around Calgary. Calgary was home, but it was always like Acadia, Sunnyside, down south, up north. Like, I lived in every different community at Calgary, but it's crazy to have settled down in one place. A lot of people know me. It's pretty fun, Yeah. I mean, I knew some people before. They maybe knew my face. I knew their face. And then over the 2 years, maybe we forgot each other's name. And now it's cool. You walk into the Powderhorn and there might be a table of people going, "Hello, Rob." And it's like the whole people.
Like
and
Norm.
I just go like, and I just go, "Hello, everyone." Right. Like, it's kind of neat. Right. And I really enjoy it. And that's it. Like, I built a place for the community to congregate, talk about art and music, and feel comfortable and safe to come in here. I welcome anybody in this place from every walk of life, every color, every gender, everything you want to be. You're welcome to come to Turkey and Pistols and talk music and art, and that's it.
Boom. That's why I love you, buddy.
And they can stay as long as they want. So I've got to meet a lot of people. So yes, I feel like a local.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm sure people would hopefully say that about me. But I've got to meet so many other people that is from all over the world and all over Alberta and locally. These old guys come in to shoot the shit with me. And that's what this place is all about.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It has that vibe. I know we've said that on the last podcast. So Powderhorn Saloon, that's like the restaurant bar next door, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of being part of the community and stuff and local, you're what do you got going on over there? I see you playing music and stuff. And like, is it you come watch me, or are you like trying to like get people going?
So I sing and play myself. I'm a singer-songwriter. I play acoustic, folk music, folk blues, country. It's a mix of all of that because I probably have one of every song on there. But yeah, I've just been a country dude, a rural guy my whole life. But music was a hobby that I did outside of being a creative director in the advertising industry in Calgary. Music was just this thing. And so I didn't really tell a lot of people that I've been playing for a lot of years. I bought my first guitar the day I turned 21. I bought it in Calgary and I wanted to play. But it wasn't something that you did. I didn't come from a family of people who went and gigged. Right. And recorded music and tried to sell it. My uncles have done it, but it wasn't something that where I came from, people encouraged and went, if you're really good at that, you just got to go up to Nashville or down to Nashville or like no one encouraged that. So it was really just a side hobby.
Yeah.
But I kept going and good at it. My wife got really good and she started gigging and started singing.
Okay.
So my hope was, I was kind of jealous in terms of like, I really wanted the confidence, but I didn't feel like it was good enough. Fast forward to this, I've been doing that now as a side hobby. When I moved out here, I started writing songs and singing more. And then, I started gigging and going to open mics and, but not a lot. And so, I started an open mic over here because I wanted to sing more in front of people. I knew we needed an open mic again. There was lots of young people coming through my stores doing it. So I set it up much like a place where I perform 3 songs to open the night and set the bar nice and low for everyone to come up there and enjoy themselves and not intimidating or anything. But I make a welcoming space. And then after that, everyone's got a chance to do 3 songs. And if we got more time, it's 3 more songs. And then I just turn into your biggest fan and I shine the light on you and I encourage you and I make you feel safe. And,
there you go, nice.
And it's all about trying the different song. We're not expecting you to come up and cover something by the Eagles.
Right. Get your cameras out.
No, if you have an old sad song, then this is the place to try it. So it's really a little bit of mix of me getting to sing for people. So, but then also allow the community to come out of their basements with their songs and present them to the world. Because you don't really get a lot of platforms. There isn't a lot of places to go show your skills and if you're getting better or not.
Yep.
So that's what we're building over there. Again, a safe space. Everybody's welcome, every walk of life. I'm going to take care of you. No one's going to make fun of you because I'm there and I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. But that doesn't happen.
Singer, songwriter / bouncer.
There you go. But people want live music. They really want this. And people are really
cool.
Welcoming, and the community's awesome. And you got to hear some of these people. They're blowing my mind. It's awesome. So we're recording them off the floor here. And we've recorded a few tracks from the Powderhorn Saloon live. So they're on our YouTube channel, on Turkey and Pistols YouTube channel.
Nice. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
How often do you do
that? First Tuesday of every month. So this one's going to be April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Oh, there you go.
So first Tuesday of every month from 7 till 9 at the Powderhorn Saloon. If you got a song or you fiddle around on your guitar and you got an old cover for us, come on down and I'll allow you to go up there. And that's what it's about. Give it a shot. If you got music and you can really make it, I heard these old guys say you have a responsibility to the world to share it.
There you go. Shit.
There you go.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah.
Guilt trip.
Yeah,
I got 3 questions for you.
absolutely.
Are you still doing 100 burpees?
I'm gonna say I've actually been really struggling to do my 100 burpees a day. But I was for a while there. That was it, right? Because it was just my fitness. But now that I'm here, I never sit down. I never stop walking. I'm always busy.
Yep.
But I will say, knowing that I was going to be on a podcast, I started working out yesterday. I have all my gear in the back, though. I started bringing stuff. So I got some kettlebells in the back. I got some bands. But I am going to be 47 here right away.
Nice.
And I'm starting to feel like the it's not as easy, you know.
Sure.
The motivation's a bit harder. But I was kind of struggling with the fitness, business, music, and
Personal
everything.
life. Yep.
Personal life and everything. But yeah, albeit admit it, I fell off, but it was such a thing. But when I do them, I'll still crank them out, and every now and then I'll do them here when I'm feeling bad or haven't done anything in a while.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I'll get them. I'll feel sore the next day, but it does. And then I go, why don't I do these every day again? Right. But I was just running out of time.
Yep.
You know. Yeah.
Yep. No, I hear you, man. Sorry to steamroll that.
No.
Number 2.
I'm being open and honest right now.
I appreciate that, sir. What is your favorite design that you've done in here?
Oh, my favorite design. I'm probably looking at it over there. That's the Turkey and Pistols collection department.
Yeah.
You know, and I put it on this new shirt. It's orange.
It looks good.
It's meant to look like an old prison shirt, right?
Yeah.
But there's a story to that one. People love it. It says "Pay Up, Sucker" on it.
Yeah.
And it really is based on this unpaid invoice by this guy. And I was so mad. But I don't know if I've broke even yet. But I didn't beat him up. So.
There you go. So you're probably on the correct side of it.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe if the sales from that shirt maybe will help with the paying it back part, eh?
Maybe he'll watch this one day.
Another question. If you could have, I want to hear two fighters. If you could have one fighter not alive anymore to represent your brand, Turkey and Pistols, who would it be? I want one fighter who's not around anymore and one who is.
All right, Muhammad Ali.
I knew it.
But I've been a crazy fan for a long time. I probably brought it up in the last one, but I got books of him. I got posters at home. I got all stuff in the shop of Muhammad Ali stuff. So I got really into him. I don't know. I was always into boxing, but I guess when around the movie time, there was a lot of talk about Muhammad Ali, and I just was always inspired by him. His fighting at the time and everything about him, the whole swagger, is just his personality as an entertainer. He's funny, all the rhymes.
Yeah.
So absolutely, it'd probably be him. I can pick someone else if you think it's more interesting.
No, because that's why I wanted one alive too.
Yeah. Alive is a tough one, man. Because everybody changes and everybody's been so wild. But when I was a kid, it was Mike Tyson.
I knew it. I knew you would say Mike Tyson.
If you wanted to be someone younger, there's people that are exciting. But no, I had a question for you. But yeah, no, Mike Tyson, and mostly the Mike Tyson now. He's so different and cool.
Oh yeah, he's the best.
Pre the trouble Mike Tyson, that was a badass. I'd love that guy to have a T-shirt that says Turkey and Pistols on it.
Yeah, no kidding.
And before he got in trouble, but that was those were and this guy now, they're two different people. Yeah. Obviously, he's a grandpa now, but the world's found a soft spot for Mike Tyson.
Well, everybody loves a good comeback story, right?
Absolutely.
And that's one of the better ones for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Sorry, you said you had a question for me?
Okay, well, my question for you with a guy like Mike Tyson and what's going on and the Jake Paul thing, and then Jake Paul's going to fight Canelo. What are your thoughts on all of this? Because we haven't got to really chat about it. I know it's a little bit of old news.
Yeah.
But we've been talking fights for a long time.
Yep.
And we've been training together for a long time. Maybe we should start that every now and then again.
Agreed.
But when we were fighting, there was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of stars in the world in all the fight leagues. Maybe boxing was falling off a little bit at the time, but the UFC was just like this, right? Yep. So everybody's wanting it.
Yep.
But now we only have these kind of circus things that...
It seems like it.
So the question was, is it good for it, or is it just entertaining? I did write questions down for you. I'm going to turn the tables on you.
All right. Well, where do you start? Well, let's start with the whole situation. I tend to be a little more of a purist. I like entertainment too. Like, so in saying that, would I watch it? Yes, but I don't have a lot of investment in it. So, for example, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. I didn't like the idea of Mike Tyson being in there. And listen, Jake Paul's not bad for a guy with that much experience. He's pretty good.
Right.
He's just such a douchebag, right? Like even just his hair and his silly beard. Like, anyway, but Mike Tyson shouldn't be in there to begin with. And you can see in the fight that maybe his upper body wanted to do one thing, but his lower body wasn't responding the same. And I genuinely think that Jake Paul hit him a little harder than he wanted to, wobbled him and went like, oh shit, I don't want to be the guy to do that to Mike Tyson, and really pulled off the gas pedal. So I if that was a 10-round fight or whatever, an 8-round fight, there was about 4 rounds left, and I went, okay, I see how this is going to go. He's carrying Mike Tyson, thank God. Don't care. I turned it off. I think it muddies boxing. It makes it entertainment because these kids, we always think of boxing. You got to do it the hard way. You got to get your teeth cut the hard way. You got to go train. You got to go, fight in basements and, before you can fight in the big show. And obviously these kids now with money, you can hire a strength and conditioning coach, a sight coach, a reflex coach, a, skin coach, all these fucking coaches. And, not shortcut your way, but maybe,
Right. But does that make it, because all these people have been training since they were like 3 or 5 or whatever, 10 years old, they have a million coaches, they're just elite athletes are we losing stars? And is that why these type of fights are interesting?
I would say that, except now, Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia, I think I'm pretty sure. I listened to a boxing podcast, 5 Live Boxing in the UK, and I'm pretty sure Turki Al-Sheikh, the guy who runs Riyadh season, the big boxing guy in Saudi Arabia, decided like this is, I don't like what's happening here with these freaks. So he decided, and the politics, you know how it is. All the politics are awful in boxing. And so I think he just started outrageously paying people and making the biggest fights. Like, these are the fights we want. These are the fights that are going to happen, and I'm going to pay out the money. So thankfully, there's somebody out there that's kind of steering away from that. But at the same time, it seems like he's just trying to like the WBC, the WBA, all these belts, IBF. Yeah, we're just going to throw all those away, and we're just going to have one.
Right.
There's one heavyweight champion. There's one lightweight champion. So boxing, to be honest, is going to... It's in a good time right now, but it's really crazy. Like it's turning upside down, and maybe for better or worse. Well, probably better, to be honest. And I would say that the entertainment thing of boxing here, well, that's not fair to say either. I was gonna say because Jake Paul, obviously, he runs these cards, but he also had like Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. Right. He's promoting real fights.
There was people talking about those fights after, the next day, and saying, "What? But did you see this fight and this fight?" Right. So they were there to watch the circus, but then there was some exposure, right? I'm sorry to say this. The answer is yes.
Yeah. The answer is yes.
Do you think it's all right? I mean,
I don't like it.
It's not bad, right?
But I think it's good for boxing.
But it goes to what I was saying, like, the UFC is kind of missing a lot of these big fight leagues. All of them the stars are retiring.
Yep.
And the elite athletes that with kind of boring stories they're amazing fights.
Yeah.
But there's no story to build behind everything. Yep. And we look at the 2 fighters. I shouldn't have picked Mike Tyson. He's as retired as possible. But they had stories. There was something there. Right, yep. But the elite athlete's still winning all the time. Right.
That's right.
It's changing the fight game, anyways.
Well, and I always say, like, well, it's no secret, but back in the day, it was kind of, you were a fighter first before you were an athlete, and general fighty kind of people usually have quite personalities. And now just professional sports. I mean, you're an athlete now before you're that profession. Like even hockey players, you're almost, you got to be an athlete before you're a hockey player.
Right.
You got to be an athlete before you got to be a fighter, And I think with that lifestyle, it's, you're eating the same shit. You're weighing it every day. You're drinking water. You're doing the same. Like, what stories do they really have to tell?
Yeah, right, right.
You know?
Well, the only thing, like, I mean, we could always just say, wait till Jake Paul fights a real fighter. I mean, it's such an obvious answer.
Yeah.
But like the guy came out of nowhere with no battle damage and just fighting these champions who'd been through wars, right?
Yep.
He's got no battle damage and he's a big kid, right?
Yep.
That's the craziest thing is that there could be someone training in a basement somewhere becoming so good and with no battle damage.
Yep.
You know, of course, someone with years of experience in fights, but these people are dangerous, right?
Yes.
And that's it. He's big. He's got a big overhand right. And I always wonder. I always say this to my wife when we're watching fights. I'm like, do you wonder if there's just some guy sitting in a basement somewhere that's been training or secretly in some town, never fought, and just that rocky moment? But he's not punch drunk. He's not punchy, right? I mean, of course, it's the big dream, but that's kind of feels like what happens every now and then.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, these people come out of nowhere,
Yep.
1 or 2 fights, and just they got strength, they got the ability, and they got the skills. They just didn't bother getting knocked around for sparring, right?
What's your opinion on that whole thing? Is it good for boxing?
Well, I mean, it's good to bring fans to the sport. I talked to so many people in my shop. Everyone was a fight expert. Everybody was gonna watch it, and everyone told me what Jake should do. And
Bob
Mike,
left, fold the overhand right, weave under.
Yeah, you gotta watch from Mike's big over. You know, and I'm like, he's fighting a 60-year-old man. Like, just kept saying that, right? So I was disappointed in the fact that, like, you're gonna fight a 60-year-old man, like. Yep. It's so silly.
Yeah.
But who's going to say no to fighting Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it might sound stupid, but you'd be stupid. Anybody would be stupid for the opportunity of fighting the most well-known boxer in, like, that's alive, right? Like, that was all what it's about.
Yeah.
But the truth of it is I wouldn't fight a 27-year-old. Like,
no way.
Like, they're so much faster, right? And that was the disappointment. But I mean, I watched it and I liked it, and I'm gonna be honest, like I love the golden era of the UFC. I miss Chuck Liddell. I said it last time, Rampages. I loved the stories, right?
The personalities.
And they were really good at building those. And you could see that, you know, boxing got better after the UFC got all these really great personalities, and then they would do those. But I missed those stories even in boxing, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, it gets you excited again. It's hard not to watch the behind-the-scene fights and all the lead up, right?
Yep.
So that's the part I do like, but I kind of want the same thing, but with pros. Like, I want real fighters. I don't want it to be a joke.
Yes.
I wanted it to not be a joke.
Yeah.
I was leading up. I'm like, it can't be real.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be, like, this can't happen, right? And then in the first round, I was just like, well, we're just watching it. I guess, like, it's an exhibition. I've watched this. I watch all kinds of fighting.
Oh yeah, me too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I watch the celebrity boxing. It's so stupid, but it's fun to watch.
I'll laugh.
Right?
Yeah, I'll have a good chuckle.
Right. And that's what I mean. We haven't seen those in a long time. So you kind of get there and go, oh, that's kind of what it is. And I mean, they were pulling punches. You could see it. It was weird. It was really weird.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be that guy. I was just watching with normal people. I wasn't just like, look at what they're doing, right? Because you're just like, let's just watch it. Right?
Yeah.
We do watch WWE sometimes. So what's the difference?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I miss the big fights.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, Tyson Fury stuff is fun, but it's just kind of.
At this point, for me, it's noise. Just noise.
Yeah, and the UFC is crazy and fun, but it's so turnover. But I mean, watching the local scene here and watching you guys get so excited about it makes me excited. Watching Jake Peacock is pretty funny. So that's pretty amazing. And so that's exciting. So there you go. Jake's a pretty exciting guy. He can come wear a turkey and pistol shirt. I wouldn't mind him being part of the brand.
Holler.
But like, that's what I mean. We needed a star like him, you know. The fights need those exciting stories, a cool name, you know, general, like, hold himself well, you know, and all the fighting and I mean, everything. We need good representatives that are super skilled, you know, totally chasing a goal, but also being respectful people, right?
Yeah. At the same time, calling your shots. You know, that's that's great.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man. To like, I usually don't miss a Friday morning fights. Every Friday, YouTube, one championship, and it's pretty cool to see, you know, Jake and Chris on your TV screen.
Yeah.
You know,
Unbelievable.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean,
Good on
for
those
some of these
fellas.
people probably don't know, but that's it. Like we've trained together since you guys were at the Canyon Meadows
Yeah.
Community Hall. So I've got to know you for a long, long time. Got to know Chris a lot and known him a long time. Watched when you guys were when he was fighting and you were coaching and you guys going through that.
Yeah.
Just from afar sometimes too through Instagram. I was watching it grow to what it is now. And yeah, to see Chris on television, you know,
Yeah,
on an
man.
international stage, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty great. And it's Calgary being represented.
Yeah.
And like what was once a small thing. So what do you think of the community that was like, you started at a community hall. A lot of them did. There was a Mike Miles gym. There was an Arashi Do up north, right?
Yep.
And you were trying to expand it down south. That's how I met you, to where we are now.
Yeah.
Have we reached a climax? There's a gym? I know there's a gym opening soon in the general area. So
Yeah, man, it's they're
is it a
blowing up.
growing industry?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It is. And if anything, I'll call out my little community here in Calgary and say we could do a better job working together.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of gyms opening up and yeah, man, it's just there's lots for everybody, guys. Relax.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, that's it. When it's a growing industry and you have an opportunity, you know, things get, there's a lot to go around, right? And
Yeah.
but I mean, Calgary's never been bigger. The sport never doesn't seem to be any bigger than it ever has been.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just growing, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, no, I will also say that from a podcast point of view, you know, the support's unreal around here, to be honest. But definitely, yeah, you know, just definitely, you know, I think we could cooperate a little bit better, just in general as gyms, maybe not as fight fans, but as gyms. But man, the community's awesome. There's just so many fighters, champions, fly here, go over there. It's unbelievable, man. And then of course you have people like Jake fighting internationally. You have, you know, myself just starting to work with juniors in fights, which scares the absolute hell out of me. I don't want kids to get hurt. And yeah, I don't know, man. I like the community. I love being part of it. I just like talking fights. When you go to fight cards, it's all the same people. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, remember that, remember this. And I don't know, man. And that speaks for countrywide. I've really been trying to go out east, but we could definitely cooperate more, even not even just Calgary as a country, as a province, but as far as the fight fans and stuff, I can say thank you to people. You know, I try to support everybody. I'm trying to support my community, whether it's locally or around the country, and so it's fun to be part of.
Yeah, no, it's cool to watch. I mean, like I said, being part of something, just even from the sidelines now, right?
I probably just like politic my way around that question you asked me there, but
It's probably more honest than I was expecting you to say. I did make questions for you because I wanted to be kind of the normal guy.
all right, man.
That was kind of
This never
doing some
happens to me.
stuff. I know I was going to do it, and so we talk fighting, all kinds of fighting.
Yeah,
Right, because you're really heavy into Muay Thai, but we've
Love it.
been talking everything. We've
Yes.
been talking boxing since we were young.
Yep.
And yeah, I can remember when I first, I must have met you. We almost must know each other for like 20 years.
that's fair. Yep.
Yeah, because I started training before I got married. Yeah, and I'm coming up on 20 years.
That's crazy.
It's crazy that I
Jesus.
know you that long.
Time flies.
But we used to talk all kinds of fighting.
Yep.
So here's a random question. What do you think of this power slap league? When the art of the game is usually to knock a hit.
I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. I refuse when I'm scrolling through all my stuff and I just see a clip. I refuse to watch, man. I'm just going by.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
It is crazy. And I watched this one and I thought it was AI. This guy's face just got fully flattened sideways, and I'm like, that can't be real. I had to watch it again. I'm like, well, that looks like AI. Like I can't watch this
Unreal,
again.
man.
Yeah, it's a real thing, right?
I know Dana White's pushing it. Oh, it's the best thing. And like, man, nobody's buying it, bro.
There's nobody is buying it. Okay, so yeah, I think I already covered this one, but like we had all these superstars in the early days of boxing, maybe when we met, right?
Yep.
And UFC and I mean Muay Thai too, right?
Yep.
Like at one point. Do we have the same level of superstars in the world, or do we? And if so, who are they?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks to social media,
yeah.
for sure.
Who would you say is like the guy that most people?
In Muay Thai?
Well, just call out who's your favorite. Who's there some major fighters that you think are on that superstar level?
Well, Canelo,
Right, of course.
Usyk,
Yeah.
Alexander Usyk. Obviously those guys. As far as oh man, like
No, but any sport, yeah.
yeah, sure. I mean, Alex Pereira. To be honest, like you talked at the UFC, he's kind of one of the last few, really, in my opinion, that are big superstars. Muay Thai, you have guys, you have Rod Tang, Liam Harrison, who's on podcast 100, by the way, no big deal.
And a name for a long time. He's been a big name for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. I mean, I haven't seen women's boxing be so popular because of those two alone. And there's still other good fights out there, but those two ladies alone, oh my goodness.
Right.
But I don't know. Like, that's hard for me to say because I'm so into it that my superstar list is probably like, who the hell's that?
Right. But it's funny because like, it also feels like in a good way, right? Instead of these nutso guys.
Yeah.
We have superstars that are also seem to be great athletes, generally good people, respectful. We don't have people calling themselves martial artists and then, attacking a bus and punching old people and right? Or getting in trouble. Like, I mean, those are the things that we, you get so excited about these stars in the world, but then you want them to be respectful martial artists, right?
Yeah. And that one fell way off the wagon, that fella.
It's unbelievable, but what can you do, I guess? So, I mean, the fun thing that for me with martial arts and everything, and much like my store, is like I tell people what I do miss about it is just coming to a place to just find a community and get to know people. I know I've had some of your students come through the shop and people that have been around your gym for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got to know me through just you or the podcast and Instagram. But we're talking about it, and I think Ninja Jason.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ninja Jason.
Jason.
Love that guy.
He's a great dude. And we were talking about it, and I just told him, like, what I missed about the gym was when I was done work and I had a corporate job and I was even a boss of people, I could just come to the gym, settle down, talk fights with you, not have to anyone know who I am.
Yeah.
Just turn off my regular day job and turn into a student and learn and try to learn a skill.
Yeah.
But I'm there talking fights with the same guys. Like these, we're nerds. We love fights. We want to talk about who's that guy's name? I should start watching what, right? And then you just go down these big rabbit holes. But we talked about it when he was in the shop. Like, it's a huge part of what you provide, the community. All the gyms provide the communities with like a place for us people to go find our similar congregation, right? Our tribe, and talk nerdy fights. And
I think we forget that sometimes. Let me speak for myself. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in the sport and the hype of the fight that, which, if you think about it, is like 10% of your people, your clientele, your time.
Right.
And I'm guilty of it too. And we forget about the recreational martial artist. And matter of fact, I'll tell you what, coming out of my fun little midlife crisis here, that was something I've been thinking about a lot lately. And that's, champions and, all that stuff. And I'm going to be honest. I love having champions. Shout out to Kelly. Congratulations, Kelly. You couldn't have earned it that was completely the hard way right to the decision. Well done. But one thing I told her right before she went out was, listen, I don't win this title for me. Don't worry about me. Don't win the title for your kids. Don't win the title for anybody. I swear you want this more than anyone else. I don't want it as bad as you do. So just go win this for you. And the reality is that's true. I get more satisfaction seeing the nerd in the gym who probably doesn't have a lot of friends, uncoordinated, overweight, and I admit I'm thinking of one specific person, a person who I have to grab their hand and go, come over here so and so, like, you know, they require so much attention. But when you see that they get something right and they recognize, holy cow, that's awesome. I get more satisfaction out of that than having somebody win a belt.
Right.
I admit it.
Right.
I like both. Don't get me wrong. I like both.
Yeah. The after party's okay sometimes, after the belt. But no, that's it. And it's super important to talk about what you guys do. I mean, there are the Jake Peacocks and everybody chasing belts and the big fight cards. But I was just an average guy who'd been a fight fan forever.
Yep.
Trained martial arts when I was a kid, but I rediscovered it when I can't remember what age I was, 28, 29. I know I got married when I was 29, and I've been training for a year or two. So it was fun. And it was fun because I'm like, hey, guys, I got to go. I'm getting married. And you guys were like, well, congratulations. And some teasing me. And I came back, was all tan from Maui. You guys,
oh, yeah.
And you guys were, but it was like, I'm coming back. And that was fun.
Norm.
And I really enjoyed that. And it is what I'm building here and what I'm and it is like, as an aging martial artist, like I had to find another outlet.
Yeah.
Because my body doesn't, like, I'm not that bad, right?
Sure.
But the motivation and where do I apply it now is harder. Where do I apply those 100 burpees?
Yeah.
It was mental.
Yeah.
I had a lot of mental problems going on. I was probably going through some depression. I didn't realize some PTSDs from some shitty problems that happened during COVID, where those burpees really helped.
Yeah.
But that's what I say, that those going to those classes just allowed me to be someone different. And I had this place to go to, and I had somewhere to come back to, and I was, but I miss those nights. I miss coming in with a little bit of aggression, and you're allowed to punch people in the face, right?
And smile.
And then I could go to work and I could tell everybody at work, I'm like, last night I punched this kid in the face, and they're sitting there going, what? And you're covered in bruises and you're happy about it. And you got a look at my black eye, right?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. But I was just normal and I was fun. But it was rediscovering martial arts later in life allowed me to just disconnect from the world that I was really pressured in, and I was a boss.
Yeah.
I could come there and be nobody in the corner, and I would get in trouble with the 15-year-old kid for goofing around.
Right.
I mean, I get in trouble for goofing around everywhere, but it was fun. But it was also the talking fights, learning more about Muay Thai, learning about the sport, learning about Thailand. All of it that was provided was cool. Like, it was this whole place that we, as fight fans, we could just talk too, right?
Yep.
And you found your congregation, and our communities need those places more, right?
Yep. Agreed.
And even the fight music, because I'm exploring the music industry with me and my friends. We're making music. We're trying to share it to the world. And I for business and music, I'm now applying what I've learned through martial arts. My dedication, 15 minutes a day can change everything. It can make you so much better. But it's really just trying to realize we do need these places where people can kind of look at I want to explore, I want to be part of music, but I don't know if I want to perform. I don't know if I want to put out a CD and so for fighters, you don't have to fight. You can just be awesome at this gym, and you could be a core dude, and it doesn't have to be pressured for right away. We'll just start fighting, right? And so that conversation now, and you can see it happening in fighting, where you're like, you get good in 1 year, and they want to fight. You want to get on a card, and it's like, no, I'm an office guy. I got to earn a paycheck.
Can I come train one more day a week?
Yeah, but that's it. Maybe, and then slowly working them up and go, hey, okay, 3 years in, what about now? Right?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you're like, yeah, maybe now, right?
Yeah.
You kind of develop that, but with sometimes with lots of things in this day and age of Instagram, and you're just forced almost into wow, you're getting pretty good. 3 months in, why don't you just do a whole gig on a stage and freak yourself out?
That's right. Start a YouTube page for you. I'll manage you.
Or why don't you take this fight and get knocked out by Jake Peacock as he climbs the ladder?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding, man. It's funny too. Speaking of sort of Jake Peacock won championship, but it wasn't long ago. I admit, man, I'm worried to piss people off. I don't want to. I don't live in a circle where you know, I that's just not part of my life. I don't try to do that, you know. And like, listen, 125 episodes in, you're gonna piss someone off. I try not to. Like, that's not my goal.
No.
But oh man, I saw and maybe it was almost sabotaging, self-sabotage. So that's been my whole, and for those wondering, and I appreciate the compliments, but that's why there's been so many podcasts coming out 2025. I decided that's it. We're going to do one a week. So, and I prefer to hear you say, man, I'm sorry I haven't caught up yet, instead of, hey man, when's the next one?
Right.
Like, I prefer that. Good. Then it's waiting for you, and don't worry, we're going.
Yeah.
But Nico Carrillo, so he fought in one championship, and he fought, I'm not sure if you've seen online at all, but Nabil, this super tall kid, super tall, long, and got crushed. And I think maybe odds were that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
And he wrote a post a few days ago, or a few days after, or maybe the next day, that literally was just like, I'm not scared to fail. And I was like, it just kind of clonked me on the head, like, yeah, fuck. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, and then you realize it, like you're saying, like, to get at what you're doing, music industry, martial arts, like, you fail so many more times than you realize.
Right.
You just didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just keep going.
And I mean, I've been saying this for years, that failure kind of seems like just not the right word.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to martial arts. And I got friends. I used to snowboard, right? We skateboarded, we rode BMX. You don't fail in those. You try.
Sure.
And you try again, and you try again, and you try again, and you try again, and then all of a sudden you land the skateboard trick.
Right.
And that's it. You did it. You have to continuously go. And as martial artists, as musicians, as extreme athletes, if you can embrace the fact that it's just an attempt, it's not a fail, then it changes all the perspective.
Yes.
And you're not being afraid to fail, because really, in most things, being afraid to fail is like, you're going to get hurt. Well, if you know you're going to get hurt, now it's like, well, I'm going to get hurt, so I'm going to give it another go.
Yeah.
And with fighting Muay Thai, like learning the kick in Muay Thai from zero, it instantly hurts, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do that anymore, right? But you have to do it over and over, and you got to get hurt over and over and over, and then all of a sudden it doesn't hurt, and now all of a sudden you're now that whole gym is looking over you because you're making that sound, that the sound used to come from the other guy, right?
Yeah.
And it's that thing. But yeah, I mean, in everything, you got to go and make an attempt.
Yep.
But all of this is meant to be fun, right? The best part about music is you don't ever work music. You play music. And the word play should never have anything aggressive on it, because we go outside and play. So you play music. So the joyous thing of having music as a job is you get to play for a living. And so, I mean, for you guys, I was looking outside, looking in, all of the people in the fight community that was part of, I wanted the gym. I did. I was looking at opening an own gym when I was much more, had a lot more energy.
Sure.
But it was because I wanted that, and I can brand it, but I also loved the energy and what you guys were building and the congregation and all of that. But like, that's it. Like, it's recreation. You guys sell recreation, right?
Yeah.
Like, people are choosing to do this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do it. And it's really cool when that's what you do for a living, is you do what people do for recreation. Like, you provide that, and that's how you can put food on your table.
Yeah, it's weird.
And we're important. Like, all the gyms that you are in town are important for our communities, even though they're looked at as everybody's recreation.
Right.
The communities need them, even though they work from home or they're corporate people. If those weren't there, they're gone, right?
Yep. Yes.
So everybody has to know that gyms, community centers, all of like things like I'm trying to build these places where communities can congregate. We need them, and you need them there as a corporate person. So you need to help them, however, to make them stay, because the moment they're gone, you're like, oh crap, right?
Yeah.
But we're in a glorious place to go. Recreation can be business.
Yeah.
And that's cool, right?
Don't get me wrong, man. There's at least 5 times where I've sat watching TV thinking about work, the gym, and I'll just blurt out to my wife, like, I earn money a weird way, hey?
Super, right? And that's what's cool, and that's what I mean. We should almost encourage everyone, like, look at what it is out there, including fighting, or what is around the fight industry. If you love that, you can find a career out of it, right? Music, you can find a career out of music. So it's just that, like, there's no such thing really as failure. I mean, obviously, just define it for yourself. But I just like to look at it as an attempt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you close a business, can you imagine just one more try?
Yeah.
Just give me one more shot at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've always been that person where, okay, the first time I'm like, that didn't go well, and I probably looked stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'd never done that before. Can I use my other hand? And then all of a sudden hey, it's starting to get better instantly, right?
Yep.
And I kind of like that idea of, like, and some people are drawn that way. And so especially, I also heard a really great quote by Robert Rodriguez once, that once you've really learned to become a creative thinker, like a lot of martial artists are, they got to start solving problems. You can take your creative problem solving and apply it to any other industry, because most other industries are at 10% learning the technical side, and then becomes, again, creative problem solving. So you got to learn the technical skills, but you bring that ability to be a quick thinker and a problem solver.
Yeah. Yes.
So you start applying what you've learned over here and over here. And that's what I mean, part of thinking, like, why the heck would I be on this thing is, like, I was very dedicated I wanted to be more of a martial artist when I was in my corporate job and when I was training.
Yeah.
And right now it's got to start slowing down, right?
Sure.
Like, I really knew I needed to apply my time that I'm putting to fitness and this hilarious dream. Like, I'm going to dunk a basketball one day, or like, no, maybe the right call. Hey, a guy around 185 dropped out, Rob. Can you make it? I'm like, it's over. But if I can take that same mentality and that same, okay, I'll squeeze in 15 minutes a day, right?
Yeah.
And apply it to business, apply it to music, and apply it to my next passion.
I'll
always have fitness. I'll always have martial arts. I'm always going to be a martial artist. I believe that.
Yeah.
But it's applying it to my other life now, and making same passion, and just apply it to a business now.
Yeah.
Make it my own.
Well, and I didn't really. First of all, who's Dougie Rodriguez or whoever you said there?
Robert Rodriguez. Sorry, he's the director of From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm like, why do I know that name?
Spy Kids.
Yeah.
So what's so great about him is he actually is when he started his career, he was like all of us, like a fighter, like all of it. You got nothing. You got to do everything. You got to become everything for yourself. So he wrote, shot, directed, edited, wrote the music, recorded the music. He made his El Mariachi was the first movie.
That's
he
right.
made it on $8,000, right?
Yeah.
Went down to Mexico. Didn't tell anyone he was even doing it because he didn't want to come home and everyone go like, "Where's your movie?" So he kind of just did it on the fly. Gets super famous off it.
Yeah.
Gets it bought. They're like, "Well, can you give me a bit more money so I can edit it?" Because I really just didn't. He was shooting to the frame, so he would like get he'd go action, and they would start. Then he would hit exactly where he needed to start filming, and then he would cut exactly, and then he'd go cut. And he would stop because he needed to save all of the frames of film because he didn't have enough money. So he was trying to save every little penny.
Holy.
So when the film industry, and he cut it just weird because he didn't have other cuts. And when the studio got a hold of it, they're like, "We love it. We're going to sell it." And he goes, "Can you give me some money? I'll re-edit it." He goes, "No, we love it just like it is." He goes, "No, I shot it for $8,000. You can't do this." And they're like, "No, that's it." And then he went back and reshot it and did all kinds of fun stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
But even he did it all himself, which was an industry like, no, really.
Right.
And he continued to do that forever because he writes his scores. If he has a block on a creative thing, he'll go paint one of the characters. Like he paints.
Wow, hey. That's it.
So it's really kind of diving into every aspect of what it is to be a filmmaker and make a film. And he doesn't feel like, well, I don't do that, so I'm not going to bother.
Right.
He's like, well, why wouldn't I? I play the guitar. Or I'm write a song for this scene.
Right.
And he goes and shoots the photography for the actors and for the posters, and it's this cohesive, creative thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But he doesn't feel like he can't also be a director and an editor, and he just takes his skills and puts them over here, and then puts them over here, and then writes some of the music and puts it over here. So it's, you got to think about that as someone that's so dedicated, as someone that's committed so much time into a passion that like martial arts or fitness, all that. You have these weird skills you've developed, all these organization times. You've set goals for yourself,
right?
You're getting up, you're doing all of these things. Well, then just point it over there, and don't forget, like, you're still this human that
right
can still crank out 100 burpees.
That's right. When I want to.
When I want to.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I will say in fitness and everything, it was everything about music has become helpful with my. I had some crappy things happen in our family, and we had some losses. I lost one of my buddies. And as I sit here now, I'm realizing there's probably some PTSD in there and some investigations with some things I've been doing. And I realized music and martial arts and exercise fitness were the best key. Even when I was young, I was probably going through stuff then.
Sure.
But now, music and martial arts and keeping myself healthy is the only thing to keep my brain kind of clean and running right.
Yeah. No, it's good, man.
And make sure I'm not self-medicating as much as I can be sometimes.
Yeah, sure, sure.
But you realize, like, okay, well, I'm gonna turn myself around and apply my skills over here with something. So.
Yeah. It's and just even with like I've mentioned many times, but the podcast, like, I just started something from nothing, and you end up like, okay, well, now you gotta get a RRSP feed, and you're like, I don't even know what that means. It's like, okay, here we go. Let's find out what all this is. Oh, now you gotta need one of those.
Right.
Okay, let's figure out how to use that. Now you need editing software. Okay. It just put the time in and of course you hit speed bumps. That's kind of what I've started to look at them. I hit so many speed bumps on the way. Even today, I almost thought I forgot my SD card. Thank goodness I didn't. But I don't know. Or maybe it just comes with age too. Like you're saying, like, I don't know. I don't know.
You just power through it, right?
I don't know. It's me. Like for me to just fail, like, I'm giving up. Like I would barf on myself. Like, ew, did you really just say that? Like,
right.
Gross.
Right.
Like, yeah, I just can't. I don't accept that.
Yeah, well, and that's it. I think it's also making sure, and that's what's great about what you're doing with this podcast. I know you were just talking to another gym owner. I saw a clip on your Instagram where he's talking about, talking with young people.
Yep.
And it's just that. It's just like making sure, the no quit attitude is out there. I think you guys all have really great opportunities to help young people, explore who they are and become confident and a lot of those things. But yeah, just like you say, it's like just learning another piece. It's just applied. Like, we can take it so simple in martial arts. We can just go, I just got to learn that head kick. I'm still working on that combo. Well, it's just the same. It's just over here. We just got to apply it. It's not death. It's not,
that's right.
Good or bad, right?
Yep. But, and the gym, like, I think of Muay Thai, and I don't know how this sounds to everybody else. Well, if you listen to this, it probably sounds normal, but or watch it for that matter. But like where else can you go where you punch me in the, like, respectfully, but you punch me in the face, good and stiff, and I get a bloody nose, and I actually smile and go, that was a great shot.
Right, right.
Where the hell else can you do that?
Well, and I mean, what you just said is really important in the industry or in the world too. It's like some people are out there and they're very aggressive. And when it comes to fighting, it's like, this is your business. You're in the fight business.
Yes.
Like, it's interesting. They're like, for recreation, you fight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For recreation, people golf. People,
right. Yeah.
People go sit or walk around a lake. You know, they hike.
I go fishing.
No, and what people try to avoid is what, I like to include myself. Like, we enjoy this.
Yep.
Like, we would really like to. We all have other best friends too that aren't fighters.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And we think those are our homies from back in the day. Now I go, imagine if all we went to the gym and fought and we were all fight fans. It would be gnarly.
Yeah, that'd be the best.
It is, and that's what I mean. Like, it's a weird thing where you're in this world where you're like, and I'm about to turn 47, and I'm like I say, the bag hangs in the basement. I kick it all the time, every now and then, every now and then, boom, and I'm like, I still got it. And then I'm like, man, I still want. And Kieran's gym's around the corner, and I'm like, I got this thing. I'm like, I want to go do this. I want to fight. I don't want to fight on the card. I just want to go and just rough and tumble.
Ruffle some feathers,
and I just want to be around other people. I'm like, hit me, and not aggressive, but it's like, this is what we've grown up with, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, like you're around the same era of like fighting and all this, the fight movies and all the rise of all of these leagues were us as growing up, right?
Yeah,
so
the UFC changed martial arts,
right? And when we met, it was like that. You're like, oh, you like all this shit, and you watched all the stupid movies too, and like
my new best friend.
Yeah, there you go. Here, I got a question for you.
All right.
Okay, it leads up to them. So outside of Bloodsport, top 3 fight movies? I just picked 3 because you could probably go on.
Yeah, Ong Bak.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You went deep right away. I'll get you another beer.
Rumble in the Bronx, Jackie Chan.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying not to say Kickboxer. It did not age well at all. You know what? I watched it way back in the day. I rewatched it a million times. Wheels on Meals, old school Jackie Chan, and he has a fight scene with Benny the Jet Urquidez, and in my opinion, it's the best fight scene of all time.
Whoa!
Yeah, I forgot about that movie, but I watch it a lot. So Ong Bak, Rumble in the Bronx, Meals on Wheels.
Whoa. That's pretty awesome.
Nice.
That's pretty deep. Yeah, because we could probably go on and on about that.
Oh yeah, man.
But I know I watch your Bloodsport obsession, and that should be probably everybody's.
Yeah, without a doubt.
We were just talking about it last night because of this, and I'm like, no. When you watch the fights, I'm like, those guys are fucking badass. When you watch other players fight, that's some Hollywood shit.
Yeah,
like, there's some stuff but at the time when you're that young, everything about it was hilariously mystical and like this is really gonna happen. Yeah, and this really happened.
Yeah,
What was the other part where you're like, so this really happened?
Yeah.
Now it's like, I don't know.
Recorded a kick at 76 miles an hour.
Yeah.
What? You know what's funny about Kickboxer? I think I've told this. I'm sure I've told this story before, but of course I have on the Jason. So Jason Fenton, I had him on. He old school guy. He's the first guy I ever saw with Muay Thai shorts on. And I went down the stairs to Mike Miles and was like, I saw the goofy writing and was like, oh, this is real. It's real. Anyway, but before that, so this is after that. So I was familiar with Muay Thai. I went and trained at Mike Miles for a week. Okay, Muay Thai. So I went to my first Muay Thai fight card. And traditionally, they start off slow. They'll toss out a super slow kick round one, kind of see what's going on. And I remember seeing, first of all, it was helmet and shin guards. I'm like, I knew it. Muay Thai is too deadly. You gotta wear all this stuff. And then all of a sudden I see a fight and there's no shin guards or anything on. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And shout out to Sakeem Orr. It was you. You're the first guy I ever saw fight without shin guards. And they start off slow. And I'm like, I knew it. It's just a demonstration. You can't get crazy with it. And then all of a sudden, crack. And I was like, yeah, it is real. Yeah, this is really happening. I was in grade 8. And dude, I've been obsessed ever since. Obsessed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Obsessed. Can't get enough.
Is Muay Thai your pure obsession? Like, because you're training karate and you love boxing and everything else.
Yeah, Muay Thai. Yeah, to the death. Yeah.
Like, it's fantastic.
There's very few things in my... No, I don't know everything or I don't even claim to. But that's like probably the one thing in my life where I feel the most confident talking about or comfortable talking about with Muay Thai.
Yeah.
But you know, like even boxing, a lot of boxing heads kind of convince me. I'm like, oh, you know, I'm a fan, but okay. But I'll tell you what, though, speaking of social media and one championship and stuff, there's a lot of fans who contact me on the Instagram page that are like, they bust out all these facts and like behind the scenes and breaking news. I'm like, where do you get all this info? Like, it's amazing.
Well, that's what's been weird to watch too, like the whole growth of all these different leagues, and people like to be kind of like weirdly nerdy right now. And like with social media, you can go down a rabbit hole and become a hardcore fan, and the accessibility to Muay Thai on, you know, Amazon,
YouTube, whatever else.
You know, all of that was not there. That was not there even when it was just YouTube, and it would be gnarly stuff on YouTube if you looked it up.
Yeah.
When I first started training, people were like, "You're training this?" And they're like, on YouTube, and there's like, it's just pure like crazy.
Well,
Thai.
It doesn't really look like that.
Yeah, like none of the guys look like that in the gym. We're usually out of shape.
Yeah.
No, like but now it's really accessible. Kids can see it. Kids can practice. Kids can do it.
Well, and like people are giving me stats like baseball, like knockout ratios, and you know, this guy won 7 of his last 10, but 10 of the 3 were. I'm like, good. How much time do you have on your hands?
Yeah.
And I don't get me wrong, keep throwing them my way, but like, wow, it's crazy how that's come around. Like at least one championship has become so popular that like people are throwing me stats like it's a baseball game. It's crazy.
Yeah,
you know? It's amazing.
Well, and
what a time.
Do you think it's the presentation of one championship has kind of merged the Muay Thai into?
Yeah, well, they call themselves, I don't know if it's like a media corporation, but they're a media company. Like, and so, yeah, for sure. Now, is it also because they're doing 1 card a week free on YouTube, sometimes 2 a day? Like, yeah, oversaturation maybe?
Sure.
You know, but at the same time, like I used to have to watch, we all had to watch Muay Thai and MMA and boxing just to get our combat sports fix.
Right.
Now, if you're a Muay Thai guy, good. You don't need, like, I don't need to watch anything else.
Yeah. Well, and then you're starting to watch people that, like, I remember connecting with people, like, and they're like, oh, well, all of a sudden this guy comes in and beats everybody. And so I looked it up, and I'm like, what's he do? Muay Thai. So then it was like when Anderson Silva just annihilates everybody. You know? He created, like, people that train in Calgary because they're like, so he beats everybody and he does this Muay Thai thing, hey? Right?
Yeah.
And then that was it. And that literally happened. I've had a conversation with a well-known fighter that said, I looked it up and went, oh, I want to do that now.
Is that right, eh?
Yeah.
You know, my buddy in Ireland, shout out to Kian, owns a gym out there, and he said with the rise of Conor McGregor, everybody came into my gym and wanted to fight southpaw with their hands down.
Right. I know a guy who told me he started training, grew a beard. Like, because he was Irish.
No.
And he was training. But I mean, you kind of, when he came in, though, there was this lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
The whole world watched it. And I bet you it created a lot of great true martial artists.
Yes.
Because the weirdest part is when you're in town, you can't go like, well, I want to train UFC. And then you call it all these gyms, I want to train. You're like, you call a Rashido and you're like, I want to fight. And they're like, we train Muay Thai. We do these things, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, when I did it, that was it. I was just calling around. I'm like, I don't want to be in a jazzercise. I want to end up at a real thing, right? And it wasn't. It was just on the rise, and of like, well known that this like crazy martial art is taking over fighting, right?
Yes.
The UFC, but. Yeah, like now it's like a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember people's like first sort of 3 to 5 fights. It just looked like you're both getting stung by bees, just swinging off balance. And now people are like, in their first fight, look like they've had 20. They're moving well. They're composed.
That's a good point.
They're in shape. Like, holy cow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the first couple of cards that were when you guys were still building what, Kieran is building there. You could see it. It was a little bit like deeper in the card. You get some badasses, but the early ones,
a little raw.
They're just throwing combos at each other's faces, right?
Yep.
You know, and that's your first sparring session. You're just like jab, cross, hook in front of your lips, and then the guy just goes bonk in the face. You're like, oh, I'm supposed to punch you, okay, right? And then now, you're right. Like every fight is just like, okay, this is legit now, right?
Yeah. The line between amateur and pro is starting to get muddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and that's it. Like, I mean, is it good for sports to have all these people training so elitely, so young? Do you know what I mean? Like, people are taking things so serious, but it's creating mega athletes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's raising the bar so high.
Yeah,
in every sport, really.
Sure. And then the reality is, the kid gets burnt out and they quit by the time they're 14,
Right.
or 15 or whatever. Yeah. I think that's becoming more common.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and you see it a lot, baseball, anything, not just fighting. But you're right, the push, probably living, through parents, obviously a little bit, but,
Right.
and of course you want the best for your child, but
we're not living in Thailand where you fight 100 fights by 16.
right,
Like,
just so you can eat, hopefully, and maybe
Right.
give your parents some money. Yeah,
right.
yeah, it's different. So, yeah, I do think that is a problem, and I think that was a big problem with like hockey, even like like my 8-year-old cousin way back in the
It already
day.
is. Still is.
Is it?
Still
yeah, I'm
is.
so
Yeah,
out of
absolutely.
it. But like he had like 2 days off a year, like Christmas Day and like something like. Other than that, you're playing hockey every single day. Like, oh, I have to.
Right.
Like, holy.
Like it's making the sport, it's all sports.
Yeah.
Like amazing. Like
Yes.
skateboarding is like unbelievably at a whole higher level because these little kids are starting so early, but they already know that the 900 exists, so they just start whipping 900s, right?
Yes.
So but that's what I'm worried about with any sport, but fighting. I mean, you get a kid fighting so early, you don't want your kid punch drunk by 22, right?
Yeah. I've said it many times, man. I'm not comfortable, and it's just me. Like, I know that there's competitions here. I know that around here, everywhere. I'm not knocking anybody, but there's a lot of most competitions allow kids to have head contact. I'm just not comfortable with it.
Sure.
I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it, and I'm not saying it's bad or good. Maybe I'm just being a wuss, but man, I don't need kids hiding their own Easter eggs by the time they're 25.
Right. Leave that to me. I was already punch drunk by the time.
Hey, what
I
were your
came in.
3 favorite movies?
My 3 favorite movies? Yeah, man, I probably shouldn't ask that because I didn't really have an answer.
Sorry, man.
No, Anything Ernie Reyes Jr. was in.
Nice. Ninja Turtles too.
All Ninja Turtles. I'll watch anything with Michael Jai White or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That shit's crazy.
It's crazy that big black dude can move like that.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
He's a like inflexible, like dude. What
Like,
an athlete.
I watch every stupid fight movie. Actually, but I'll just say probably all the Rockies are my number one.
Yeah,
movies.
yeah, that's fair.
I will always put them on.
Yeah.
And I know it's a whole other thing, but but all those what's his name? Michael Jai White.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that, all those movies, if he's in it, I'm going to watch it. And it's the stupidest story and they're bad acting.
Yeah.
But he just flips and kicks somebody in the chest. Like all that shit, I love it.
Well, and I admit, coming from a karate background, there's all traditional stuff. So I'm like, I get on board with that,
I love that stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that. But I'll watch Rocky all the time. I'll watch them. They're so stupid, but
They're great.
I love. I mean,
classics.
Even by the end, I'll still they're getting so cheesy. I love fighting Tommy Gunn, all of it. Like literally, I've watched them so much, it's ridiculous. But I'm a huge fan. What's that other guy that Scott Atkins?
Oh yeah.
Anything he's into, I'll watch. It was easier when we had movie channels because you could put them on and
Right.
they would come on. But those fight movies, I'm just waiting for the fight movie. But he ran in all these prison movies.
Yeah, you watched a few of them.
They're so stupid, those storylines, but the fights are unreal.
Yeah,
They're so
man.
good. And just the stunts are so much fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. What a gym can be, right? Whereas where we're all okay, do your best, Michael Jai White, right? And
good call.
And even in my basement now, when I hurt my leg real bad, I started working on this sidekick. I could do it. I couldn't do anything else. I was really scared to throw it.
I bet.
But I ended up with a pretty gnarly sidekick still.
Nice.
And so now I'm in the basement and I do, you watch those movies and you can go,
Throwing a couple Jai White sidekicks.
and I mean, I'll watch Statham movies. I love them.
Yeah,
Why would that little guy be able to just toss around 5 dudes constantly in every movie? But I mean, that's it. I'm a fight fan. That's why I wanted to ask you. Cause that's what, this is fun because that's it. We watch we're all like, oh, do you know this guy? Do you know this guy? I'm like, fuck it. Do you ever watch this movie? Why are you a fight fan? Why are you a true martial artist?
Yeah.
Like, why do you love this so much? And that's what I see in you. I see a lot in all of the cool, like the crew that you hang with and everyone. Like they really love this as like a whole thing. Like I said, we made you the shirt. Like I love to fight. Right?
Yeah.
It's funny.
And I can't even explain it. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why. I got lots of reasons, but like, I guess that's the hard part. You can't explain it to others. Like, why do you do this? Like, man, when you ask that question, the real answer is, listen, let's just change the subject. You're not going to understand, and I don't have an answer. Like, just carry on.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah.
But,
So I had another question. Who would be your dream guest on the podcast? No offense to any of the awesome guests you've already had, because they're pretty darn great.
can be real, it was Liam Harrison.
You've already had your dream guest.
Yeah, but if I could, if I
okay,
yeah, no, if I could have another one, Van Damme.
Van Damme,
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's pretty good. That's pretty great.
Yeah,
I'm still feeling bad about the Mike Tyson, and I can't say John Wayne Parr. I'd love John Wayne Parr to represent, and I want you to have John Wayne Parr on there. I'm gonna say it on here so you can tag him in it. He's awesome. I've talked to him a little bit on Facebook. He's I don't know, when I really found Muay Thai before I even started training, I found those. We talked about this last time, but the Contender TV series, and he was awesome. And then I just followed the guy, and his story's hilarious, and he's just we could see, he could be right here, and he'd be like, my favorite movie is this, right? Like, he's a true fight fan, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But again, I haven't picked anybody like who's active to be my favorite representative.
Yeah, that's right.
He just retired. He was pretty much there.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'll take it. I did say alive, not here or alive, so I'll take it. Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's got to be Van Damme.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that would bump Liam Harrison to number 2.
You should just hit him up. Why not?
Yeah, I should. I did listen. I've had a few messages. I did contact John Wayne Parr, and he's just too famous. He's just too busy. He wrote a book. He's just like,
he's gonna be on here.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna message him.
Yes. All right.
Post that clip.
But yeah, man, I'm hoping to have another big guest in Muay Thai, but they're in negotiations right now between a couple, what I'm assuming would be different companies. So listen, I don't know anything about anything. I'm just saying his contract is up over here, and he's a very popular fighter, and he's like, listen, I just know what I can and can't say. Let me get this out of the way. We'll set up a podcast. Yes.
Right on.
Yeah. Oh, you know who else I keep contacting? Bob Sapp.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
A few times.
Cool.
I'm sorry, man. I'm in Japan. I'm too busy. I just sent him one last week too. Like, hey, I'm not sure if you remember. He's like, I do, man, but you know, I do want to do it. Give me some time. So, okay.
Yeah. That's fun. I mean, that's it. Like, because I mean, you got the locals. It'd be fun to just get whoever you love, right?
Yeah.
And kind of bridge that gap. I think that's what's really cool, because you're highlighting all these young people, but then there's also opportunity to kind of
Be a little selfish.
Yeah, and also like even whatever we're doing, talking fight movies and all that.
Yeah.
Like I dig it. I mean, it's the culture, right? And but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for all the stuff that's going on too in the city. I never would have imagined where things have come from, like back in the day, and even in the last 5 years, is like so much has grown in locally. So
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, even like I said, listening to our first podcast on the way, and you think about, you're building a new facility, and I was just so young and stupid back then, and yeah, man, time goes quick, but it's I admit that when I hurt my knee, I thought, like, that's it, man. I think I'm done being a martial artist. I can't do this, but you just mentioned it too. Like, this is for life. Like, I can't just put this away. I'm done with that part of my life. Like, this proudly is my life. Like,
yeah, right.
There's
Absolutely.
life after fighting, the podcast, the commentating. It's
Well, there's still you being the guy that's, those old videos where the old guy's just hitting the
right. Yeah.
he's hitting the bag, the speed bag. Like, there's always that, or it's never gonna go away.
Yeah.
It's just trying to apply it to the right way. And
Yeah.
I mean, you're a good inspiration for these young fighters too, to like see that there's a business side to fighting. And I mean, you all can't open gyms, but you know, like you can see how something can happen. There's apparel, and I think that's it. Like with everyone, they're always trying to think of how can I make money as a fighter. Well, you got all the skills. You don't always have to be a coach. You can do this. There's lots that you can do. It's just thinking about the industry as like a whole and pivoting, right? And,
Yeah.
you know, there's trainers, there's nutritionists, there's so much. And I always say that with young people who are like, well, I guess I won't be a hockey player. I'm like, well, you could be the greatest coach of all time, right?
Yep.
Isn't that an opportunity still, right?
Yeah.
So it's really just, you know, seeing guys like you embracing this and turning it into a career, right? And
Yep.
to make money. And even with the podcast, that helps the gym and promotes the local and all of that. That's what's all of this. And so, like you said, if we can all play nice in the sandbox,
We all win.
everyone will win.
Everybody goes home happy.
Yeah. And rising tide floats all boats. They
Yep.
always say that, right?
Yep.
So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. And especially with everybody in town, it's so impressive. And I just wish I was younger. Like I honestly say that. It was a fun time. I had super big ambitions. You never know, right?
Yep.
And I was working real hard at one point, but that wasn't my path, and
That's right.
it was okay. I'm glad I didn't get beat up.
Yeah, it sucks, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I loved it. I
Yeah.
could tell my wife, I'm like, it'd be hard to say no. It's easier to say no at 47 than
Yeah.
as the years go on. But you know, a big hilarious opportunity for me to fight the Grow Turkey and Pistols brand. I'd still have a hard time saying no. Like,
Yeah.
it's because it's fun. It's
Yeah.
really fun, and that's really what it is.
It's fun for 2/3 of the first round.
Yeah, well, I mean,
about it.
obviously, I don't want to get my face smashed in, but
Yeah.
this is what we do for a living, and this is what we do for a passion. And
Yep.
like I said, if I could come and train with you every day, I would. I just, you eventually grow out of it. So just apply those skills elsewhere and hit your bag in the
Let it
basement.
go. Let it go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let it go.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Hey, what's new? What's going on here with the shop? The songs. Are you building anything? What's in the future here?
Well, I'm going to add more apparel, hopefully. We're going to add some jackets and keep designing great stuff. Got lots more records always arriving, but we're going to keep growing a music scene out here. We've been making music out of the shop. We're building a studio in the back. We've already recorded
Nice.
tracks that you can check out on YouTube. If
Like
you
Cheech and
search
Chong song, right?
Turk and Pistols, yeah. That's on my personal channel, Sawmill, our Sawmill, but you can search up Cheech and Chong song. That's my song.
That's a good one.
I'm glad you like it. But yeah, I really want to help people make music out of here. And I want people to know that we make music out here and it sounds different. It's different. There's a different sound in Bragg Creek because the river runs by.
Yeah.
And that river's got spooky old sounds in it. And it's allowing us to make a little scene out here that's a little different than everywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's a little honest and raw and authentic. And I record stuff live off the floor and mix it to my ear. And if I think it sounds good, I share it with the world. So we'll make lots of those. And if you're a musician and a fighter ready to sing some blues after a long career, you can come down here and we can talk music and I can help you see if we can make a song for you. We'll record a song, put it on the internet, and see what happens.
And depending on the career, if you don't remember the lyrics, just make them up.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a song one day, I'll have to record it and send it to you, and you can share it with your fans. But there's a guy named Todd Snyder. He wrote the song called Iron Mike's Main Man's Last Request.
Okay.
And I do a cover of it, and it's really cool. But his name's Todd Snyder. And it's the coolest thing because, like, my old life of loving of boxing and fighting comes together with this folk singer who's one of my all-time favorites. And so it's fun to watch these two worlds come together, and I sing that song all the time. So
Nice.
one day I'll do it. But yeah, come out to Bragg Creek. It's really cool. There's lots of great people out here, lots of cool things happening, and this store's going to keep growing, and we're going to make lots of music out of here.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Beauty. You're a big reason this podcast exists. Where do I go next?
Well, I was going to ask you that. What's the future? But I don't know. I think you should just keep doing what you're doing and have a thought that you're providing a very good resource for the community of fighting Calgary and martial arts in general. But you're a great voice to it. You seem very neutral in the community, and I continue to endorse that. Stay international waters and let everyone come up here and have a great chat with you. Just keep doing what you're doing, and promote these fighters. Teach them how to take the next level, and
Yeah.
You know, and keep encouraging people to be great mentors, you know. Make sure that you have an opportunity to be a great mentor as a coach, as a podcast host. It's not as mentors, it's not our responsibility to put hard lessons onto people. It's just to blow wind into their sails and help them solve their problems.
Yeah.
And I think all of you out there as coaches, just remember that. Like, we can change people's lives in a positive way, and that's what we're here for. And keep doing with this podcast because, yeah, you're just shining light on people, and that's what we all should be doing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I'll tell you what I was thinking, actually, where I think I should need to go next is, embarrassingly, I have one of those, like, Rode Wireless Go things. I've like never used it. I was thinking, instead of having like hour-long podcasts with guests, I could say, hey, this guy's got a fight. Because if you're like, hey, you got a fight coming up, right? Yeah, hey, let's get on the podcast. Case, you got a fight coming up? Yeah, I'm fighting this guy. Yeah. And then and then we're training's good. Yeah. And you're like, okay, so we're 2 minutes in. What's your favorite color? Oh, yeah, we talked about that last time. So I was thinking, that way if someone's got something coming up that I can just quickly, either they're at my gym, I go to theirs. Hey, man, give me 10 minutes. Let's have a little interview. How's the fight going? Who you fighting? Where are you going? Awesome.
Yeah.
And then I could piece those into the podcast a little bit.
You could do those. You could do them audio too, right? Once you get this all dialed up, give them a quick call. Make sure the audio is good, because those little quick hits are going to help your audience in terms of like a little piece of content that's valuable. But yeah, maybe not everything has to be a podcast, but you can drop them on YouTube. You can do Instagram. And I will say that to the fighters out there, like, the old way of earning money, getting sponsorships and stuff, and trying to get, you have a powerful tool in the terms of social media.
Yep.
You could blow up your sponsor every single day by just like, thanks to Arashido for sponsoring me for this fight. T-shirts are a whole thing that goes away, but I mean, you could just blast people out all day.
Yeah.
So
20 people see your shirts, 2,000 people see your post.
Yeah. So then what you're doing, like what you're saying is, little bite-sized little clips. You can just be audio, right? Like video is great, but a little clip where you can just hear the guy talk, right? It's traditional radio content, right? Thinking that it doesn't always have to be video, super pro. I mean, it looks nice, obviously, but that's why just relying on content versus that, because you're helping people, right? And you're helping them learn how to express themselves, talk to their fans, they have to promote the fight. They got tickets to sell, right? I get it. If I got a gig, I got to sell those tickets.
Yep.
So all of that's opportunity, but little bite sizes content that you can share. You've already been doing those little pieces. Those little edits will spread content, help these fighters, help the shows, all of
They're
that.
They're a pain in the ass. That's right. I try to make them before my kids up in the morning.
Yeah, you need a Jamie from Joe Rogan, but
are they free?
One of these days. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Someday.
He sounds very expensive.
Actually. Yeah, he does. He doesn't he? All right, man. Any last things before we're out of here?
No, I appreciate you doing this, dude, and I'm super proud of you for building what you've done. And I mean, I was proud of you with the gym. I'm proud of you as a coach. I'm proud of you with this podcast, dude. Like, you're a hardworking fella, and so this guy have him in your life. He can help you out and take a few lessons from him. He's a coach. That's what it's about. Work 15 minutes a day on your idea. You're always gonna win.
There you go. Well, hey man, this podcast exists for a lot because of you, not just because of your expertise, but for your guidance, man. So
well, thank you so
couldn't
much.
thank you enough, pal.
Yeah, and best of luck to everybody, all the fighters out there. I love it. Keep going. Keep crushing. Stop into the shop. Say hi. I'll be at the next fight if I can, and I've cheered you on, and I cheer you all on Instagram, and I have dreams of being there, sitting there watching you all. But yeah, it's a hell of a community that it's in this general area. I love it.
Yeah, you bet. I keep mentioning this before we leave here, though. Make sure you come check out the shop. I talk about it all the time. But hey, I for sure, not just my community or my gym, I for sure am seeing way more of your shirts around.
Yeah, I guess it's awesome. It never thought this would happen. I make them all one at a time. I mean, all with my own hands. No one helps me. So wherever they go, it makes me feel great. I'm starting to get messages that people are bumping into people in Mexico and seeing turkey and pistol shirts. So
no way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And they've went to all over the United States, Nashville, Pittsburgh, like not random Kentucky, and
Nice.
Belfast, Scotland, Australia, everywhere. It's cool. Germany, and I love you all. Thank you so much. And this is what I mean. Like, we can touch people in many ways, especially if you just think positively, try to put a positive message in the world, be welcoming to everybody, you know.
There you go.
You stand in one spot long enough, you'll meet the whole entire world, I think.
That's right.
That's
There you
what
go.
I've been telling everybody.
Be nice to others and, shovel your neighbor's sidewalk.
Hey, what I'm saying, you wouldn't be at 100 and some episodes here if you weren't a nice person.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
My wife might think different, but all right, guys. Turkey and Pistols. Rob, make sure you come out to
Thank you.
Bragg Creek. Yeah, I love being in this place. It's after hours here. Having a beer, and I am super happy our 2-year anniversary of having our last podcast. So
Thank you very much.
yeah, you bet. We'll have to get after it. In the meantime, next weekend I am in Ottawa commentating. Weekend after that, Muay Thai World Cup. Let's get after it. You guys are gonna be tired of hearing my voice. On to the next one. Thanks, guys.